You're not alone in the room. You're surrounded by people who care about you. And yet, there it is, that quiet, hollow feeling sitting in your chest like something is missing. You smile, you respond, you laugh at the right moments, but somewhere underneath all of it, you feel completely invisible. This isn't loneliness from being excluded, it's loneliness inside connection, and it follows you into your closest relationships, family dinners, even quiet nights with a partner. You're present, but not fully there. You respond as expected, you perform warmth, you carry the conversation, but there's a version of you sitting just slightly behind your own eyes, watching, like an actor who's memorized the lines but forgotten what the play is actually about. The people around you are laughing with someone, but you're not sure that someone is really you. You hold back opinions, you soften your real reactions, you shrink the parts of yourself that feel too much, too strange, too hard to explain. And over time, intimacy becomes a performance you're very good at, rather than a place you can actually rest. But here's what you need to understand. You are not broken. You are not incapable of connection, because what you're experiencing has a name and it has a reason. In early life, the people closest to us either witness us or they don't. And being witnessed doesn't mean being praised. It means someone saw your inner world accurately, your fear, your excitement, your strangeness, your contradictions, and reflected it back without reshaping it. When that doesn't happen consistently, when you learned that the version of you that was too much, too emotional, too sensitive, was met with discomfort or silence, your nervous system adapted and created a presenting self, a version of you that was easier to be around. Psychologists call this the difference between the true self and the false self, a concept rooted in object relations theory first described by Donald Winnicott. Think of it like a plant that grows toward whatever light is available. If the light only ever comes from one direction, the plant grows crooked toward it. And the shape isn't wrong, it's just adapted. The people who love you are loving the version of you that showed up, which is real, but incomplete. And some part of you knows that, so the room feels warm and you still feel cold. But there are things you can do, not to fix yourself, but to slowly close the gap. First, name the gap, not the feeling. Instead of asking, "Why am I lonely?" ask, "What did I leave out of myself in that conversation?" Because the brain responds to specificity and can work with a clue, but not a fog. After a social gathering, write one sentence about something you wanted to say but didn't, not to judge yourself, just to see it. Second, practice micro-disclosures. Share one small, slightly more real thing with someone you trust. Because intimacy doesn't rebuild through grand vulnerability. It rebuilds through repeated small moments of authentic expression that go safely received. So instead of saying, "I'm fine," try saying, "I've actually been a little off this week." Then pause and let it land. Third, identify who in your life has ever seen something true about you, even once, even small, because that felt different, and you should seek more of that. Not more people, but more accurate people. Fourth, stop performing comfort. When you're uncomfortable, you don't have to signal that you're fine. Sit in the slight awkwardness of being more real, because this disrupts the automatic pattern of the presenting self and over time trains both you and others to relate differently. The model to carry with you is simple. You are not isolated because you're unlovable. You are isolated because you've been loved at a slight distance, through a version of yourself that learned to stand in front of the real one. And the work isn't becoming more open, it's becoming more honest about what you're closing. The loneliness you feel in full rooms is not a flaw in your wiring. It's a signal that there's more of you than what's been seen. And that means something worth uncovering is still there, quiet, patient, waiting to be witnessed, not by everyone, just by someone who can handle the whole of you, and maybe, slowly, by yourself.